I'm just gonna take us down this this trip that every single time I talk to people about this, either they have no idea it was a thing, or they were a part of it and it was like massive. It was insane, apparently. The amount of profit that people made during this time was astounding compared to what people make now. Like, I mean, unless you're like looking at like some of the bigger like VR chat worlds, pulling in like fairly large Patreons or whatnot. So the virtual underground was a scene that that formed around a specific club environment, and they had a cryptocurrency called Wownero. Now, if you look at Wownero, it its development and everything like that was in full force. They had devs who were fully capable, I believe, for a little while. Um, but they forked Monero, so they started with a fresh coin, right? And then they continued development to build a 3D wallet that actually functions inside of VR chat. I'm not fucking kidding. This is already a thing. Like, this already happened. You're thinking like, oh, someday in the future, cryptocurrency will be a part of the metaverse. It already happened, and it was insane. I have not heard a story about this thing that was not already crazy. Okay, the amount of money the DJs made was way up there. The amount of money that, because the sex industry, everything like that, um, the adult entertainment side of this whole thing, they were making bank, man. Like, I hear stories. I'm sure that they're being inflated. There be dragons. Okay, this is like hearing some like weird like ancient civilization that fell apart and never came back. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it came and it fell like the Roman Empire that nobody knew about. And to me, that just absolutely fucking, that is so fucking Kino, man. Like, to me, that is so ah, just thinking about it. Like, if I had gotten involved with this shit, I would have been completely swept up in it. I hear stories of like they had like all these rules. They had bouncers that were like with crashers, and like nobody was fucking around. It was like way more serious because there was money involved. There's a lot of DJs that I've talked to that actually made a lot of good money from it. There's a lot of dancers. Professional, like, I guess at this point, I mean, what wouldn't you classify them as professional dancers if they're making a lot? Last night I was talking to someone, and they were telling me that they were making like $900 a night or something. They were, or I don't know, they were making a lot. Like, I think that's probably not true, but there were whole things about this. Actually, if anyone who's listening to this video knows more about this, I would love to hear more information about it. But I've talked to some people already, and I feel a little bit like it's kind of interesting, like how it is. Um, but it blows my mind that this already happened, and this is years ago. Like, this isn't just a recent thing. This is something that happened a while back. For the longest time, it'd be like the dark, seedy side, and to me that just, I don't know. That just gives me a boner. I should probably just keep that to myself. But the thing is like, there's just something really fucking cool about that. Like, that's the shit where you can write the book. 5 years from now, write a book. Like, you know, you you know, it, it, and people will actually be interested in like finding out the truth. What was really the most cutting edge of the entire scene? What was really the absolute pinnacle of what it was like, in the actual metaverse? The really cool, like, fucking hidden shit that only some people knew about, but the people who did obtain great wealth from it. You know what I mean? It's like, right? But I've seen pictures of the wallet and stuff like that. So a wallet, like I guess for a modded client, you can take that and like you mod your client and you get your crypto wallet right in front of your face. Like you can just bring that shit up. It's just right there. And while in VR, people could trade Wownero. I was like, this already happened? You know what I mean? To me, it's like, what the fuck? And it was already a really big scene. I bet it was toxic. Damn, I bet. How many of you knew about this? How many of you knew that this actually was a thing? How many of you actually understood that there was this sort of crazy underground scene that was absolutely huge, super profitable? Nobody talks about it. Except for my dumbass, of course, fucking it up like right now. Just when you think you know everything, there's always going to be something else, right? But the thing is I've known about the VR. I've known about the VU. I've known about the Virtual Underground for a long time. I've known about Wownero for a long time because I've talked to so many people. Like I talked to a lot of people in the scene in VR chat. Like, and yeah, there's been times. There are quite a few DJs that were already making pretty damn good money for playing shows. Like right now, the most I've ever seen DJs make is like $25 per hour of DJing, which is, that's really good, but that's like the only example I can think of, and that's in a very specific situation where the DJs are getting paid and it's for a fairly well-known community. I'd say more than fairly well-known. You know what I mean? Like, and with a specific individual. Like, I like how this video is so unspecific. I'm not naming anybody, but that's just it though. Maybe it fits the allure. Think about it. Think about it. The actual, no bullshit, real deal underground scene. Not this fucking. It makes the shit that I do right now look like Tinker Toys, man. It makes it look like it looks like fucking like child playthings, man. Like the stuff I'm doing is nowhere near as edgy as that. Like I can't even fucking hold a candle to that. Like what? That was actually a thing, and to me, that just man, what the fuck? Like, I don't know, man. Is it still happening? Do I even want to go down this rabbit hole? Like, I remember, I mean, a person I talked to recently was telling me, like, how, like, there was different charges for, like, fetishes. Like, they would charge different amounts of money for, like, doing, like, certain types of things. And, like, fetishes would cost extra. And they were just making, like, sick amounts of money being like really good at doing ERP. This shit is so TOS. You could probably get in trouble just talking about it. Yeah. Yeah. Think about this. I mean, well, all right. At this point in time, I'm pretty sure I've conveyed pretty much all I can say without actually naming any names or who it was. But it's always interesting whenever I can hear about the real deal underground scene, the actual one that nobody knows about, but everybody did. Ah, man. Fucking A.
Welcome back, dude.
Wow, that was cool.
How do you feel? Do you feel okay?
I touched Wendy's boob.
Ça fait wow. J'aime trop les. Je veux que des. En vrai, je te trouve.